So today I want to change academic culture, and my goal is to be the catalyst on starting a movement with you all that I'm affectionately calling Agile Science, although that is a beta term in itself. So why? Because I believe science is powerful. I believe we've done amazing things with science, sometimes by accident, sure, penicillin, but there's also been a lot of great things that we've done if we put our mind to it in terms of getting us to walk on the moon or the Human Genome Project. And right now we're facing crazy, complicated societal problems. We're facing things like obesity rates, we're facing global warming, we're facing huge wealth inequalities. These are complex societal problems that I think science is uniquely suited to help solve. But the problem is I feel like we're not really set up to do it well. And so it's kind of like, think about it this way as a metaphor. You know, we have got so much research on catapults. And so we decide we try to get to the moon based on what we know about, so we build a really good manipult to fire ourselves to the moon, rather than realizing we need a radical shift like a rocket ship. And this problem is only further manifested by how slow we tend to move. You know, so thinking about like what we are all reinforced to do, get an R01 from NIH. This very long-scale trial, you know, it takes a long time to move forward on. This same amount of time, look at all these companies that were created. I love the idea of the App Store going from non-existent to 500,000 apps in the time that one study was done. We're not succeeding. You know, that's just not really allowing us to really tackle these complex societal problems that we're going at. And I think we're not living up to Tim O'Reilly's quote, create more value than you capture. I don't think I think we're actually capturing more value, or capturing more than we're actually creating for others. And that is a problem. So, you know, we're not going for the solving for the X. We're not trying to understand what are these huge problems, what's the radical solutions, what the breakthrough technologies that we need to do, how do we combine our knowledge together to solve for X. That's what we need to do. And the other interesting thing with this is that I think we all kind of know this deep down. We kind of all feel like we're on this big boat Titanic. We all see the iceberg. We all know we're fucking up, excuse me. But you know, but we all also think, well, we're on the Titanic, I'm not steering. And so we're going to just run into that iceberg. But I don't think that's the solution. I think we got to not panic. We need to organize. And I think the core way to organize is recognizing what our underlying core values are and how we can adjust to new core values. And so that is what I'm calling Agile Science. Again, it's a beta right now. What I've done is I've modeled it off of the Agile Software Manifesto, or riffing off of this rather than that. So I've developed these 6 core values and then 10 guiding principles. They're all at this bit.ly link. So I'm just going to go through the values right now. So first, rather than building on pure academic pursuit, why not focus on relevance and social value? Let's do the research that actually will help people in the world. Novel idea, right? It's kind of crazy, right? So beyond that, though, also moving beyond just doing these long time-scaled research, why not focus on the small little iterative experiments, particularly that manifest into much bigger rewards? We've seen this so much in the tech industry. You know, a small nugget of insight that grows into something bigger. From someone as an intervention scientist, we're not reinforced to do iterative experimentation. Now, I know we've had a lot of people talking about sharing, right? We have such a locked knowledge base in so many different silos. How do we foster openness and sharing and make that the thing that we're reinforced to do? You know, as an academic, that should be my job, to be sharing with the world, to help other people. Now, this is, I think, a real bugaboo. Publications. What the hell? Why aren't we being fostered to do open source code? Why aren't we fostering Code for America? Because I don't get an H factor? That's stupid. I mean, we're on the bad part, so let's force something different. Then finally, beyond just, you know, the siloed expertise, how do we really reorganize people to work in these interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary groups to really solve these complex societal problems? So these are my starting points. You know, this is just kind of a setup. Oh, sorry, one last one. Forgot about that one. So yes, beyond fiscal disconnects. You know, we are taught to basically be, you know, we can never think about the financial ramifications. But, of course, if you build something and it can't be self-sustaining, you lost. It didn't work, so we need to think about that. So these are, again, very rough take on this. I've developed also 10 more specific guiding principles based on this. I have a talk. I've set up a time tomorrow. I hope we can meet together. This is not a one-person thing. This is a culture change. Let's do it together. I have hope because there's places like ASU that we've developed these new American university principles, but they're actually very much in alignment with this. We've got things like Bill Riley and Russ Glasgow at NIH, basically calling for rapid relevant research. And there's all these, and the people like me, we want to change it. So let's make a movement together. Let's change academia to actually solve problems.